Welcome back to the Homeschool Shopping Channel. So today I have quite a few fun things to show you like I do every day. So let's get to it. And today, because I have bought, honestly, I don't think there's a history curriculum that I haven't purchased, secular or Christian. I bought them all. I'm probably going to use them all, but I'm going to show you through about 4 or 5 of them today. So let's get ready and let's get into it. First up, we got some products of the day. So this is the Golden Rule. This is not a Christian book. It's not a Christian book, but in case you're wondering, it's by Connor Boyack. So I love the Tuttle twins. I just love their books. So this one is about, let me show you through. So I would say ages 6 to 8, 6 to 9, maybe 6 to 10, but it talks about revenge and how justice is when balance is restored, when a wrong is made right, but revenge is not justice. Revenge just adds another wrong. So that's what it talks about, revenge, blowback, revenge. So I quite like his books. I've read a few of them by now. We have a few of them that we're going through by read-alouds just because I think they teach interesting lessons. It doesn't necessarily mean I agree with everything, but I'm just saying I like it. Okay, next up, another product I want to show you is if your kids do reading eggs, they actually have, this is by reading eggs. This is level 1. There's also level 2, level 3. I mean, it goes up. I believe I may even have a kindergarten, but let's just take a look at it. It actually perfectly coincides with the game. So it's very much like the game. Let me show you so you start off the alphabet chart, write each letter of the alphabet, say the name, then say its sound. So it's really kind of a review, just making sure you know these sounds. Say the word and then write the beginning sounds. Are the pages perforated? They are not. So that is not a plus. Review, let's check syllables and sounds. How many syllables? Toes or foot? I don't know. Apple. Elephant. Tree. Okay, you don't need me. You know. So anyway, I think it's interesting. I found it at a thrift store. I find an incredible amount of curriculum at thrift stores. Usually, like, you know how it is. Sometimes you get lucky and you'll get, sometimes you go to thrift stores and you get lucky and you get a whole bunch of board games you wanted, a whole bunch of books you wanted, whatever. Circle the answers. Is Gus a duck? Is Tubbs a puppy? So let's flip through to the back here and see. Now, remember how I do curriculum? So this might be a book. You could, Oats the goat. Today, Oats the goat must catch a boat. Interesting, Oats. So we're dealing with that right there, okay? So I finished this lesson online. See, so you can do it online as well. So interesting. I think it's great. K, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so I have quite a few of them. I don't think I'm going to use them. I might use some of these. I wish they were perforated so I could decide what to use and what not to use. But, however, okay, so let's get to a bunch of different curriculum. So let's start with one that we are reading in my son's bin. That wrong kid. I'm organizing our living room, so it's kind of on this if I showed you right now. Our living room / school room. Where is it? Okay. So this is my father's world. So I'm going to show you a few different things. So my father's world utilizes this. They also like this, which another curriculum, Christian Liberty Press, another curriculum likes this one as well. I want to say it is, I forget right now, but if I remember, I will let you know. So the story of the U.S., I find it very interesting and very easy. So this is what it's going to cover. Leif Erikson, Christopher Columbus, going to go all the way down to Abraham Lincoln and some inventions, okay? So that's what it's going to cover. Now, I don't follow, because I read so much curriculum and I get so much curriculum, I have so many selections from so many curriculums that I want to go through and cover a lot of stuff. So I don't necessarily follow the teacher's manual, okay? I don't follow it. I'll pick up and I'll say, okay, let's read. So there's part 1 of Christopher Columbus, and if he wants to keep reading, if the older children that I'm doing it with, if he wants to keep reading, I'll say, okay, well, how about we read part 2, and then I'll read through it. So I just try to get to a chapter. Now, if you saw my entire organization book, because there's so much curriculum I want to get through, but it's not an extensive school day, you'll see how I do it. So this is what we're reading next. John Smith and Jamestown is what we're going to start. So there's that. So this is my father's world, but this is also, it's a little curriculum. Dakota Press. Heart of Dakota, I believe, also uses the American Pioneers and Patriots, which I'm not going to do. I don't think I'll do it this year or get to it this year, just because I bought it like last year. It just has a little too much text. Not too bad, but just so we can read that, I guess, and then maybe not too much text. I don't know. Yeah, a little too much text. So maybe we won't do it this year. So I can't speak to if this is interesting or not. But let me look at, there's so many other ones too that I've covered in another book, in another video, because I showed you in another video what I did cover. So this is the story of pioneer children from Spain, then a story of pioneers in Virginia, then a story of pioneers in Plymouth, a story of Dutch pioneers, and a story of traveling by canoe. So I'm sure very interesting, very interesting. So next up, let's look at Abeka for a minute. So this is Abeka's. So they're all young curriculums. And so Abeka has My America and My World. But going along with it, what it has as well is as readers. So this is 2F, so that's the next year. But what they have is, so it's both is what I mean. So you can get the readers for it. They don't have to be read in order. There's not an order. But this is Year 1, History and Geography curriculum. So let's take a look at it. We've gone through it. We'll probably go through it again. Okay, so My America and My World. So this is Abeka. So Abeka has basically 2 parts to their system. They have these, and then it's reinforced by different readers, but not in the grade 1 age. In the grade 1 age, it starts in grade 2 for these, but they can be read out of order. But what I'm saying is, so let's take a look at this. So for example, they don't really have any history in this one here. They do have Aesop's Fables though. So that's first grade. And second grade, this is growing up in early America, growing up around the world, and growing up where Jesus lived. So these are just some of the interesting books, and they are very interesting. So they're designed, and these are the story and character themes. They're designed for kids to read them by yourself. So the first couple, when you're on here, are not very interesting because the kids are just learning to read. But these, Kind and Brave, Strong and True, is definitely a winner. I would recommend that regardless as to whether you're doing the Abeka system or not. It's definitely Christian. You do see God mentioned a lot. So if that doesn't interest you, then avoid. So words to watch for, and look at the stories. I mean, they're just very interesting stories because you're put through. So these are all the things you're going to cover in here, and you are put, it's almost like you are in this story. So for example, you're a pioneer girl. You are a Native American. This is how they meet. They become friends. This is what their life may have been like back then. So it's definitely interesting. Pioneer, the Pilgrims, very interesting. So this is the grade 1. This is My America, My World. You do not need a teacher's manual for it. And it does cover a bit of the history, and then it goes through some countries of the world. So this is My America. Let's take a look. Now, the only downside to Abeka is that because it's a Christian private school curriculum, is that they do things like every day in school, this is what I do. So you'll see comments like that and things like that. So it's not too much, but look, every morning at school, I stand with my class, do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So the bald eagle, the Liberty Bell, Uncle Sam, the Statue of Liberty, the coins, the pilgrims. So it's a very simple overview of U.S. American history. U.S. history. I went there with my little boy in pajamas for some reason. I don't know. They were really little. Okay. So, and then that goes on to mostly geography. So these are Heroes and Happenings. I bought them initially thinking they would be super interesting. They aren't as interesting as I find this, but I haven't gotten too deep in them. This is, you would find them from Sonlight. You would find them from the Book Shark. So volume 1 and volume 2. So Heroes and Happenings, they're generally just people throughout history. and a little story on them. So I think, again, I would wait. I think I'm going to wait till next year, but it covers like the explorer, Eric, the Red and Life Erickson, Christopher Columbus, the interpreter. So again, not as interesting, but what I like is that this doesn't have, so that's why I'm doing this first, I guess, and I'll do this after, is circa for approximately, banished to cast out, and fjord, which is a long inlet of the sea, usually actually made by glaciers. So it has definitions on the side, but it's a little long-winded, but again, there's still interesting facts. Like watch when you go to the sailor. So it's interesting the way they do it because it explains that Life Erickson left home 500 years before Christopher Columbus's voyage, and your parents were born about 500 years after Christopher Columbus's voyage. So kind of interesting that it gives a relative timeline. And then it's got these where it'll talk a little bit about something. So when we flip a page, it's going to talk about trade winds. And then it's got, hey, do you want to know more? So kind of interesting, but again, a little long-winded, so I am going to wait. I would say grade 3. Grade 3, I think I'll wait. Okay. So there you go. And this is number 2. So the inventors that it has from here. Oh, it's got a lot of them. It's got Theodore Roosevelt, George Washington Carver, Statue of Liberty, George Washington, Gail Ferris Jr., Albert Einstein, Ruth Law, Neil Armstrong, Rosa Parks. So addled, confused, or to use a more modern equivalent, stupid. So see, it's a little, now this is the second volume, so maybe that's why it has even more text. All right, well, there you go. I hope you found some interesting reading. Take care. Have a good day.